Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
It's time for the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view their full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, how we doing, Boise State fans? Happy post-game to you. Boise State finishing out the regular season with a 9-3 record with a 42-23 win over Utah State in the regular season finale. Nice enough, as always, after the home games to join us. Kent Riddle, longtime coach, participant in senior day today for your son. Overall, nice, a fun afternoon on the blue for Boise State.
Absolutely. Hey, things got close. They wanted to keep the fans involved, and then they pulled away and made it a pretty big margin of victory.
Boise State, Taylon Green counts for 5 touchdowns, 4 through the air, the 91-yard run. Obviously had, the defense allow Utah State to get back in the game. Overall, what were just kind of your thoughts on the game?
I thought I know it got close there for a minute, but I never really felt like the game was in jeopardy. Ironically, I kind of just felt like Boise State's going to stop them. And I didn't think it was going to be 42-23. They made a couple plays. I thought they'd probably run the ball out, but man, when Taylon Green gets an edge, you can see why all the teams have been scheming to keep him from getting out wide, because if he does, he's going to pull away and nobody can catch him. So they did that, and then Shale Depot with the big interception, pick six, made the score, I think, probably what most people thought it would be. And, for all the people that weren't watching today, they'll look at the score tomorrow, 42-23, and a lot of those guys are probably voting in the polls, and they'll go like, oh, hey, let's kick Boise State up a few. Sure.
21-0. Boise State gets up, and then obviously put the mic a little closer to your mouth if you don't mind, by the way.
Sorry.
21-0. They allowed the touchdown right before the half, and then Utah State did get in the game a little bit. I mean, it sounds like Tyreek Jones, by the way, is going to be okay. We talked to Coach Avalos, and who knows what truth there is to it, but he did say that it's not something they expect to keep him out. I mean, that looked really bad when he got carted off and the whole team came out there. George Halani obviously went out, but he was on the sidelines, looked to be okay. So, I mean, that was kind of the one thing you didn't want to have today, really, because the game didn't really mean much for the championship game or any of that. You just wanted to get through this game healthy. You obviously wanted to win, but you didn't want to lose anybody, and those were two things at the times that looked a little scary, but hopefully both are able to come back.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously that is scary. Never want guys to get hurt, but I do know, and maybe this is a Boise State thing more than certainly in the NFL or NBA or whatever, but they're not going to hold guys out that are capable of playing. They're not going to worry about, hey, should we play them, relative to risk reward, that kind of stuff.
Which I thought they should have done. And some fans this week and media types did say there was really the only bad thing could have been a George Halani getting hurt in this game, and they shouldn't play him. But I know from a coaching perspective, we talked earlier this week, you said that's not how coaches operate.
No, if guys are healthy and able to play without risking themselves, then I think it's 100% go. And you're trying to get up enough that you can pull guys and get some other guys in there, obviously. but you want to make sure that you win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a guy's risking being hurt, I think there are, some guys that maybe could have played that didn't today. I think you'll see I think you'll see Boise State probably close to full speed next weekend.
Yeah, you had Cade Beresford, Riley Smith, Steph Cobbs. There were some guys that didn't play today.
Yeah, and I have no idea why, but if they weren't season ending, I would guess that maybe those guys weren't in a situation where they could protect themselves and make sure that they come out of the game healthy. But football's football, and whether it's practice on Tuesday next week or game last week or this week, guys get banged up, and you train all year to try and keep that from happening.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of it is weird things happen. But I would expect next week Boise State to be very close to full strength.
Good to hear. Hey, get your comments in, your thoughts on this one. We're going to pick our Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game here before we're out of here. We're out on the patio at the James Kitchen and Bar. It's actually not too bad out here. You got the sun out. There is still some snow that hasn't melted over in the corner, but there's some folks out here. They have some of the heaters on out here on the patio enjoying some beverages. I saw some folks ordering some of the meatballs and some of the food inside. So we're here at the kitchen. The James Kitchen and Bar right across the street. We appreciate Barry and Perry and the whole staff for allowing us to hang out here after the game. And it's a happy crowd today after the win.
Absolutely. Yeah, see the Utah State buses going by. And
that's going to be a 4-hour bus back to Logan.
Yeah.
Unless they flew. They probably did.
I think they flew. But, those guys, give credit to them. That's a good team. They were the conference champions a year ago. They made some plays. They did some stuff, took advantage of what they thought were some matchups, and they did a really good job. I mean, their quarterback I thought showed real toughness.
When it was 21-0, it looked like it could have just been blowout city. And
absolutely, yeah. And credit to their coaching staff. A couple of those guys I've had. Well, more than a couple, I guess, but been around, and those guys are smart. They're competing. They came here to play today and to win today, and everybody I'm sure wanted this to be a blowout and all that, but I think Boise State, in my opinion, the game was never in doubt. Now,
I kind of felt that way too, even though when they got down there, because even if they were going to score, you still had 90 seconds left. Yeah. But I don't know why there was just some weird feeling that you didn't think they were going to score there.
No, I absolutely did not. I felt like I was actually surprised it wasn't a pick six earlier. And they tried to run the quarterback, and a bunch of those guys did it. I think DJ Schramm came up big on one of those where they're sending him up the middle. But yeah, just never felt like the game was in jeopardy, and then for Boise State to make a couple plays at the end to, make the score look like it was never in jeopardy.
We do have some comments, some questions. We'll get to those. I want to show the highlights as well from this one. We can hear from Coach Avalos. We got a lot to get to. I'm looking at some of the comments here. Remember, the YouTube chat is the best way to get the comments in. If you're watching on Twitter, we cannot take your comments, so switch over to the YouTube channel. We'll take your comments there. A lot of talk about the J.L. Skinner targeting call in the comments there, Kent. Some people disagreed with it. I guess the TV broadcast and their rules analyst, Gene Sterator, said by the letter of the law, he hit him with the crown of the helmet. He thought it should be targeting. I don't know if you've seen the play again, but for a guy on senior day, and I know they do have a game next week, but all your family comes to that game, and in the first quarter to get ejected, I guess disqualified from the game. It looked like a great play on a fake punt attempt, and that was a tough play. Or was it field goal or punt? That was going to be a 52-yard field goal. Yeah, or that was the punt. Yeah, the field goal got blocked later. But I thought it was a heads-up play. The guy looked wide open. He came out of nowhere, and that's a tough way for your senior day game to go.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievably tough. His family came in from all over. I had a chance to see him before the game. Certainly no fun that they didn't get to enjoy watching him play. On the positive side, I guess, he's got 2 more games. But, yeah, he made a heads-up play, and that was a big-time deal because pretty sure that probably wasn't his guy that he came off of to cover. And Utah State probably could have made that a little bit easier play for them by sending the guy to the flat and set up the seam. But Boise State did a good job covering up. And, yeah, from the replay I saw just in the stadium, did not look like targeting. I thought it was shoulder pad to the chest.
I just hate how one guy I guess the one official makes the first call, but one guy watching in a replay, actually right next to the press box, we're watching and look at the replay, but it just, I mean, come on, man, this is football. I don't know. I thought that was a BS call to have him guy, and you got to know the situation. I know he's not going, oh, is this guy a senior? Oh, okay, I got to, but you know what I mean? But I still.
But you wish you would. Right?
Yeah. You got to know the moment, know the room, and also know that when I think targeting, I think the blatant helmet to helmet, there's the blatant dangerous hits. That was just a big hit in my opinion. I didn't think that was a dangerous hit that he should have been ejected for.
I would have 100% agree. Unfortunately, I think we're paying the price with the way they interpret it now for how many years of, we kind of let that stuff go on. And I say let that stuff go on. At the time, it wasn't like we just let it go on knowing there was going to be a problem. I think we found out much later, like, hey, this is a problem.
Sure.
For what's all happened. And now, as we tend to do in society, we just overreact a little bit and very much, I'd say error.
Well, overreact first, but err on the side of
caution.
Yeah,
but I, some of it's not even caution. I think it's just like we spend time going like, well, what if somebody looks at that the other way and says, oh, we should have done this? And
sure,
so I think there's a little bit football wise of just like, oh, we'll just call it targeting and
I just
move on.
Just felt bad for JL and his family, and that
I felt awful for him and his family.
And the only saving grace is there is another game on the blue. If that would have literally been the last home game on the blue, it would have been even worse.
Absolutely, and thank goodness it was in the first half.
Yep.
And we win this game, and he misses that, but he'll be back full strength, ready to roll, start a next game.
Hey, we're broadcasting from the Cutwater Canned Cocktails studios. Make sure you check out Cutwater Canned Cocktails, one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. We appreciate them for sponsoring us here on the studio sponsorship. Rowpaint.com as well. Power and people, pride in painting. Check them out, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. They got that deal going on in Twin Falls area, BNN Twin 23. Use the promo code BNN23 and BNN Twin 23, and they'll offer you 23% off down there in the Twin Falls area. Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor on the post-game show here, was talking to Jim Sturk from Lithia yesterday. So LithiaFordBoise.com. Check them out, their new all-wheel drive sale. And again, you can go online, find the car for you, and then go test drive it. And it's just a very easy process. And we appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise. And, of course, Idaho Central Credit Union, the official bank of Bronco Nation News and the Raines family. I've gone into the bank, Kent, one time when I signed up for my account. You don't have to go back. You can do all the mobile, online banking, cash your checks, all that stuff. It's just a great bank, and we're appreciative for their support. Bronco Nation News, ICCU. So check them out at ICCU.com. Kent, it was senior day today, as I said, and I know I saw you out there on the field. What was it like just for you and your family? Your son, obviously, Connor's the holder, but also just any senior day with the players and the parents out there, and obviously the last regular season home game. It's always a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. It was phenomenal. It was an awesome experience. It's great to be able to be out there and be that. But there's a bunch of these other guys I consider family too. And it was great to be out there and see, a bunch of these guys that were able to come out. And
there's your son right there.
Yeah, looking pretty good. So, but DJ, another guy, I've been close with his dad for a long time. Riley Smith recruited JL. Been very close to Scott Matlock over the years. Kikani, which they butchered his name again. But yeah, I mean, so many of these guys are like they're part of my family through the recruiting process, through being with them for their time here. Dimitri, obviously another guy. Just so proud of the guys that they are, not even have become. Obviously, they have had, they've matured and to who they are. But man, so many of these kids and family, and they become part of my family.
Yeah,
and
is win one.
I love these guys. So
is the win one for the seniors mantra? I mean, is that a real thing and going into a senior day thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a big deal, and it's always a big deal to protect the blue. And I think Andy talked about that this week. Hey, every game on the blue is a big deal. Protect the blue, but yeah, it's very special for the seniors getting those guys out here, and credit to them. Waking up at 4:30 this morning or whatever, and being ready to roll at 5, and on the field at probably 8:15, 9 o'clock.
Was that one of the first times you didn't miss coaching this year when you didn't have the early wake up?
There's been a bunch of times that I didn't miss that part, but no. I think that's the one thing any coach you would talk to would tell you. And it's funny, I was talking to a couple of the older players down on the field before the game. And, the one thing everybody misses is the guys, whether it's the coaches, the players, the group you're around, the equipment managers, all that. Those are the guys you miss. Like, you don't miss like scheming up a play all the time. I mean, there's times you miss that, but you miss the guys like all the time. That's what it's all about being with your people and sacrificing for your brothers, and that's the part you miss.
Well, we're sad to not see you coaching, but we really have enjoyed having you on these post-game shows as a part of the.
Well, I enjoy the post-game shows too,
and we've had, I guess we had the BYU one, but it's for the most part it's been mostly all wins we've talked about over here. I think we're 5-1, I guess, at home this year, right?
Yep,
was what our record was here with Bronco Nation News. So been mostly fun to do, and we do appreciate you giving up your time. Usually you have your wife, you got friends here, and we pull you away. So we do appreciate that, you coming over and providing the insights. We got some highlights we're going to show, Kent. We can talk about the game kind of while we're playing some of these. But senior day, they announced the crowd at 31,000. There obviously wasn't probably that many here. They count tickets sold, but I thought overall it was a pretty nice crowd for a 10 a.m. game.
I agree. I thought Bronco Nation showed up. I mean, hey, a lot of the students, I can't blame them for going home Thanksgiving, and that obviously impacts it. And a lot of Bronco Nation probably had to work today.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty good. The one thing, and I see it all the time on Twitter or whatever, guys, hey, I can't make it to the game. Let's try and oh, there's the sorry.
There's the play. There's the play right there. Yeah. You're talking about giving away tickets and helping people, and that's good.
But that's awesome. Like, whatever. If you already have the tickets and you can't use them, it's great to get fans in there, and I think that's special about Bronco Nation.
Here's the play again with the sun. It's kind of hard for us to see on the screen here, but he hits some. Andy Avalos, JL was doing some talking after they counted the ejection. Andy Avalos said after the game that was the biggest cheers from the Utah State sideline all game were when they found out JL was out of the game. There was some talking going back and forth, but they were obviously very happy to see him out of the game.
I got a lot of respect for Utah State. Blake Anderson's a fantastic person, coach, certainly been through some hard times. And
definitely.
Anthony Tucker, their offensive coordinator, and Kyle Cefalo, their receiver coach. I've worked with those guys, and so great respect for those guys. But I thought that was bad decision by them to wave goodbye at JL.
There were players waving and talking, and
I said before this year, like fans can be better than that. Well, that team can be better than that.
Eric McAllister, 2 touchdowns tonight. We just saw the first one there. Obviously, seeing him as a redshirt last year, they continue to give him more opportunities. And Eric McAllister, 2 touchdowns today. He's been coming up big.
Yeah, fantastic. Guy made some big plays. From on 3rd and 6 from the 6, I'm not sure I've seen a guy that wide open on a fade route. I mean, he made a great move at the line of scrimmage, got out of there. I thought that was fantastic. Here's the Latrell Caples TD. Great play schemed up by Dirk and probably Matt Miller. He was wide open from the get off right there.
Perfect throw, too.
Yeah, perfect throw. I mean, big time play. So, and I said Utah State could be better about waving goodbye at jail. I will say this, to me, they showed a lot of class by when Tyreek went down, a bunch of their players went out.
Yeah.
Shook his hand.
Yeah.
They recognize the guy's a great player. So sharing that part of the guy that's been around so long.
What'd you think of Matt Lauder getting some action today?
Yeah, Lauder. Love it, man. That guy's going to be a big-time player.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, absolutely. He's earned more and more playing time. You've seen as the season goes on. But Matt, he can block. He can catch, run. I think he's going to be a little bit in the lines of he's maybe not quite as big as John Bates, but, maybe a guy like that. So I think his future is really bright.
Appreciate Colin Mitchell from Bronco Nation News for taking all these highlights. Colin and Jaden Finch out there braving the cold today. So appreciate and want to make sure I don't forget that Colin Mitchell deserves the credit for all these clips. And he got over here early, Kent, and set up all the equipment for us, too. So he is earning his pay today, and we appreciate Colin Mitchell for what he's doing. But, again, it was 21-0, and then the last play of the half, Utah State there went for the touchdown and got a little momentum going into halftime.
Yeah, it was a big play by them, and, hey, they were playing to win. I mean, Boise State obviously is the best team in the conference. They're 8-0.
Yep.
And this is a big game for Utah State. This is a big play right here, my man, dropping the ball there. But
great design play too, and the guy was wide open.
Yeah, I think Tuck stole that one. We ran that at Arkansas State against Western Kentucky for a touchdown.
Well, that was close to the I'm blanking on his name, the Fiesta Bowl, the halfback pass from Vinny Peretta. I mean, it was
absolutely.
same kind of play.
Similar,
yeah,
yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
This one being off a fly sweep action, but yeah.
What do you think of Scott Matlock getting in the end zone here?
Scotty's got great hands. Great route, got out there.
That was tough for them last year. Last year he was just wide open and almost dropped it.
Yeah.
He actually had to make a little bit of a nice catch there.
Yeah, Scotty's got great hands. I think last year he just maybe froze up a little bit, like I can't believe I'm this open. But, and credit to Dirk, like he knew, hey, there's no way they're covering this.
Andy
I
said
would
they
have
were
bet $100 they were throwing that right there.
Andy said that they were kind of overcommitting to the run, and that was also the third straight play that Clydesdale package was in there. So Dirk just thought it was kind of a good time to hope that they overcommit to the run, and they did, and they got him sleeping.
Absolutely, yeah. And Dirk had a great feel for that. And that the fourth down trick play by Utah State, Tyreek Jones was just an unbelievable because I don't think that was his guy, but recovery to make that. A tough catch, and the guy didn't quite make it. And then they came back and obviously did hit a big play. But
I know that Boise State's pass defense ranks #1 in the nation, but we always like to nitpick here in the media. It does seem like once a game they give up one or two of those big ones.
Well, if you're playing man coverage, I mean, hey, if you're #1 in the country, if you give up one big one,
yeah,
I'd say you're pretty good.
Okay,
but they're playing man coverage, and as coaches, you always say 50-50 balls. Well, as an offensive coach, you're trying to get on top of the 50-50 and make it 70-30. As a defensive coach, you're trying to make it 30-70. But, some of those balls are going to hit, and that's the nature of man coverage.
Gabe Hunter.
Awesome job.
Big play for him, and that was his second interception of the season.
You talk about a guy like he came here as a walk-on, battled through some injuries, really just persevered. Has really been a big part of this defense recently, and then to see it rewarded with a play like that, one hand kind of reached out there and stabbed it. Like, big-time play, great kid.
And Taylon Green, 91 yards. That, by the way, Kent, in the history of Boise State football, not quarterback, not running back, not receiver, the longest rushing play in the history of Boise State football, 91 yards right there from Taylon Green.
And I think there might only be like 2 or 3 plays longer than that at all.
Okay, yep.
I can think of Lou Finucci against La Tech, RD to him, and RD to Billy Wingfield, who I think went from the 1 to the 1, if I remember.
Yep.
And I think Kellen had one to maybe Titus, but that might be it after that. Yeah, phenomenal. When he turned the corner, I knew he was gone. My son said he turned to the manager and was like, "Give me my helmet." They ain't catching him. And everybody was right. You know, Taylon's super special when he gets out there in open field. Like, he's good at, trust me, he's good, probably better than you think in close quarters. But when he gets out in the open field, nobody's catching him.
Kurt's asking how bad is Tyreek. Andy Avalos did say, we mentioned this earlier after the game, that they're hopeful it's nothing serious. It did check out, I guess. It looked really bad at the time. The whole team was out there getting carted off. It looked like a unfortunate ending for a sixth-year senior, but it does sound like he obviously is hopefully going to be okay moving forward. James is apparently not as bad as it looked. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that this week. He missed the previous game, came back this week. So we will see there. Some folks, Kent, are a little nervous about the championship game. Jake Hayner coming back kind of changes things for Fresno. That's going to be a different team coming in here on Saturday.
It is a different team than when we played them last time, but we're a different team, you know. So that's the nature. Even if all those guys had played on both sides, or, you know, we were, I just think every team's different 6-7 weeks later. Every team's different. You know what you're good at. You know what you're not good at. You've kind of narrowed things down to that point. I think, you know, Boise State, Taylon's obviously had a lot more experience getting some big plays on special teams. That was a big kickoff return by Caden Dudley. You know, I mean, all that stuff. So I haven't obviously watched a bunch of Fresno, but I know they're better when Jake Hayner plays.
Sure.
So it's going to be different. But it's going to be an exciting game. But
yeah, another afternoon game. I like that. 2:00 on Big Fox next Saturday. I haven't officially asked you, but hopefully we can get you back again post game for that one too.
I'll be here.
Yeah, we. It's kind of like the.
I assumed it was a home game.
It's kind of like the. Yeah, there you go. Well, you're not obligated for anything. You could tell me to take a hike whenever you want. You could get up and walk off, and I have no way to. Nothing I can do about it. Like I said, we really appreciate your time. It is, the James is kind of like a neighborhood place. You always see people you know when you go in there. I've yet to come here and not, you know, had a friendly face that I know, or the employees are always very friendly and nice. It is kind of that just neighborhood spot to go hang out and have a drink, and whenever you want to go in there, you know you're going to have a good time and find somebody to talk to.
Absolutely.
And you can always find Kent Riddle probably hanging out.
Maybe not always.
Okay.
After
All
the
right.
After the game for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, come down, try the pizza. If you
Pizza's
don't make
phenomenal.
If you don't make it evening, you can come by in the afternoon, grab a sandwich. Yeah, Barry and Darren College, long time
Morgan
friends.
Boydston.
So special people here, and they make sure it runs the right way.
Shout out to my friend Morgan from Channel 7, anchor over there, just came over and waved. So you know, like I said, you never know who you'll see. You got the most prominent KTVB anchors just hanging out here at the James. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun. Someone's saying the player of the game has to be Taylon Green. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and give the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Accounted for 5 touchdowns, all 5 offensive touchdowns, I believe, right? So 4 passing touchdowns. He goes 14 of 23, 220 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then adds 91 yards on the ground as well on 6 carries. All 91 came on that touchdown. So Taylon Green, the highlight of his career to this point, the Bronco Nation News Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game.
I do believe he might have the 2 longest runs of the year. Right?
Yeah, the 75 was it? 76 something? Yep. Yeah. When he turns that corner, man, he's pretty quick.
You're not going to catch him in open space. I'm just telling you.
Let's hear from Andy Avalos, Boise State's head coach. He did speak with the media after the game. Let's hear a little bit of that. Andy Avalos here on the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show.
All right, we ready to get this rolling? First off, happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving yesterday with their family, their friends, and whoever they got to celebrate with, and really to share grace and be thankful for the things we have. This is a time of year where, especially in this game, things get really tough. Your challenges continue to grow, but it's awesome to be able to go through it with a family like ours. It's awesome to see how resilient our guys are, and obviously, as we move forward into our next opportunity, it will require us to be our very best. Now it's time to talk about that. I'm sure that's what everybody wants to talk about. But the most important thing is that our team gets rest, our staff gets rest, and we get ourselves ready so that we can be our very best this week in our preparation, because we got a team coming up here in the next opportunity that is playing really, really well and is very capable in all three phases of being an explosive unit. Today, we're excited about what we accomplished, but we all know as soon as we leave this facility, it's on to the next. That being said, we'll take questions.
Coach, you guys are 8-0 in conference play, 5-1 at home, and as you mentioned, you got the championship game this coming week. I mean, what does that say about this team, given where you guys were a couple months ago?
And that's what, again, not only this week and on Thanksgiving one day to be thankful, but it's just a reminder. And, to be thankful for all the things we have, even the things that aren't favorable, the things that aren't ideal. You go through a lot of different stuff for a reason. And in life, really, you have two options. You're either going to learn from it and grow from it and get stronger and allow it for you to grow forward, or you know what the other one is. And I'm just so grateful that we have the men and women in this program that have grown forward through everything. That, the good, the things not so good, and everywhere in between. And, we'll be able to draw from that stuff is, again, we prepare for our next opportunity and our next challenge.
So intentional with the development of Taylor Green. 4 touchdown passes, the 91-yard run. How good was he today?
Yeah, it's that run was big time. Obviously, it got real tight there. Prior to that run, and for him to be able to capitalize right there and pretty much put the game away, that was awesome. That was great for him. He was very efficient through the air today. They wanted to bring everybody to the line of scrimmage, and so it opened up things down the field, and we were able to take advantage of that. And obviously there will be things on there that, Coach Cutter and offensive staff will want to improve upon, that we'll have to improve upon for, our next opportunity. But, again, everything's done for a reason, and obviously we're not going to explain everything to you guys, but there's a reason for everything, and the most important thing within the reasons and the why is to take care of our family, and that's our main objective, and so that they can grow forward and get better, just like you were talking about. And not only TG, but there's a lot of other guys that have stepped up into new roles, and every opportunity they're getting on the field, they're getting better. They gain experience. Yeah, they might mess stuff up. There's stuff on this film that we're going to need to be better at next week. But you know what? We're proud of the guys, the way they go out there and compete, their eagerness to come back in here to learn. They show back up in here with an open heart and a willingness to learn and grow from what they did, the good, the bad, and the indifferent,
You guys have talked so much about how much of a leader JL is, and for him to go out of the game early, but stay locked in.
Well, you can listen to the rest of that on the YouTube channel. We'll get that full video posted to the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. We got Kent sitting here. We don't want to waste his time. We want to get his analysis and his thoughts. George Chalani goes over 1,000 yards today. Been a couple, you had the COVID year, you had the couple injuries the last 2 years, but to see George back at it and get over 1,000, what's that like to see?
Oh, it's awesome. George's a game-changing player, and when he's healthy, makes a huge, huge difference. I think either of the last 2 years, had he been healthy, probably would have hit it.
Mm-hmm.
But they've done a great job of using him this year, keeping him healthy and pushing forward. And yeah, excited to see where he continues to go.
Need to give some of these defensive guys some love. DJ Schramm, 15 tackles in this one, including 4 tackles for loss. Andrew Simpson had 10 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for loss as well. We've seen it all year from Schramm. I know he's playing banged up and just continues to go out there and do it. But Andrew Simpson kind of thrust into some action due to some of these injuries and things. He's played really well too.
Absolutely. DJ's been phenomenal all year. That guy just, continues to develop and grow. He's been a student of the game. And, so excited for him to have the success he's had. And then Drew, coming out. Obviously, he's done a great job. Just, I think he came in here with a lot of potential, and he's really developed his potential into being a good player and a guy you can count on when it matters. But, DJ had a huge play down there. They tried a quarterback draw on 3rd down. He'd seen it a couple times and did a great job fighting off the block and coming off making a huge tackle down there. And I think that put him in the 4th and long deal.
29 players today, by the way, were honored on Senior Day. I know you got the whole COVID thing now, so that messes with it. Some are going to be back, some aren't. Well, there's 29 seniors. I take that back. 25 were honored. You had Steph Cobbs already announced that he plans to come back, so he did not even go through Senior Day and then missed the game due to an injury. You had Tyneal Hopper also elect not to go through it. Who were the other ones? Cortez Hogans, and then the 4th one was, who am I forgetting? Cortez Hogans, Smith, Hopper, and there was one more that I'm forgetting that didn't go through it. But either way, it's a situation where, some guys still could, just because you went through the Senior Day doesn't mean that you're not necessarily coming back. I've got the list here. Who did I forget? Hogans, Hopper, and Markel Reed. Markel Reed also decided not to go through Senior Day. That's good to hear that he's going to maybe have another season too. But 25 guys. Cade Beresford has said he's coming back, and he also, I guess, decided to go through it. But I guess there's some guys up in the air. You never know. But obviously, to get a win on Senior Day for them was a big deal. I'm looking at the stats here, and I mentioned from a receiving standpoint, you had McAllister, the 2 touchdowns for 40 yards. Latrell Caples, though, 4 catches, 78 yards. He had a touchdown. We mentioned Lauder. Billy Bowens got in there with that 41-yard catch. There were a lot of different guys that contributed
Huge
tonight.
Play by Billy. That really got things rolling.
Yeah,
because it started out kind of slow. It caught a ball, broke a tackle, cut back, and took it all the way down there to the 3-yard line or something. But, Billy, that was a huge play.
Somebody's asking, late to the game, did Noah play, both brothers? Obviously, Zeke did not suit up.
Fatto did.
Special teams, right?
Yep, special teams.
Yep. Getting Reed back will be big next year. Andrew Simpson has emerged. Dimitri playing next week. We'll see. I know he had, from my understanding, a pretty significant shoulder injury, but the championship game, it's football season. You got to do what you can.
If I was Fresno, I would think he's going to play.
Yeah, and there was I forget who we talked to. Cortez Hogans today alluded to the fact that he was trying to play next year, and but I was told it was a pretty significant injury. I guess football players are as tough as they get when it's championship season. You do what you can to get out there, but it was characterized to me as unlikely a couple weeks ago that he would be able to at least maybe get out there but make an impact. So I'm rooting for him. Hopefully he gets back out there and he's able to
all
to
these
play.
Guys are there. I can't imagine any of these guys that think they can play wouldn't play next week. At some point, somebody might have to tell them, like, you're not able to play. You can't protect yourself.
Yeah.
But I think every one of those guys will be fighting their ass off to play next week.
Sure, championship game, spot in the LA Bowl on the line. Which, by the way, I'm not really, I don't necessarily root for Boise State, Kent. I'm a partial media member. It does help my business when the team does well. But I've got a wife and kids that I'd like to see for Christmas. So the LA Bowl would be a perfect bowl game to go to on the 7th.
We're all pulling for the LA Bowl, right? I don't know what the other options are totally, but
ruining Christmas is not.
I know the LA Bowl would be a fantastic. I believe it's the Jimmy Kimmel LA.
Yeah, we got to
Bowl,
get the sponsorship in there. It's on the 17th. It's the first Saturday of bowls, and it is
easy trip from Boise
in the new Rams Stadium.
Yep, a lot of our players are from California, Arizona. Even the guys from Texas. I mean, relatively easy trip. So I think that's a huge deal to win and get into that game. Now, does it mean that the other game stinks and it's not worth supporting if the Broncos somehow end up in there? No, it doesn't. But
well, I can tell you the Barstool Bowl probably ain't taking them back after last year, haven't. So it won't be. I doubt it'll be that one if we have to. If they, but yeah, if they just win the championship, they know it's the LA Bowl and don't have to worry about all the waiting, the scenarios and all that stuff.
That'll be a great experience for those guys. Whatever the bowl is, it's typically had the number one Mountain West team has always done a great job taking care of them.
Yeah, the Vegas Bowl typically for a while.
Yep, and I think that'll be a phenomenal experience. And like I said, I mean, the bulk of the players' parents will be able to get there and spend the time there. So I think that'll be phenomenal. And then, yeah, everybody gets to have Christmas with their families, which is awesome. So
weird this year too, though. Signing day, I think, is the 21st or 22nd. So after the bowl game, it's the following Wednesday. So the coaches wouldn't get the break. They'd have to wait a couple.
It goes into a dead period.
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Okay.
So,
but they'd have to be around for signing day and stuff.
Calls,
yeah,
all that stuff. But I think that's probably relative
easy work.
It beats.
Another week of practice.
Whatever year it was, the year we played
in the Vegas Bowl one year, the game.
UW, Coach Pete's last game.
The signing day was like a day or two before the game.
Signing day was the last game.
Yeah,
and we went down there and we're working on the game plan till like 2 a.m. And then had signing day and had guys signing from like the East Coast, Midwest. I mean, it was most of the coaching staff had I remember me and Coach Harris and a couple other guys
not getting much
sitting
sleep.
in the modified staff room or temporary staff room, whatever you call it, on about an hour and a half sleep. So
and unfortunately signing day was the best day of that, or the best result of that week probably.
Yeah, well, yes it was. Gosh, that's one to have back. I mean, but that was going to be special for the UW players, and they were pretty good team at that time.
They were,
and,
that was a good team, though. That was a good team. That was the 12-1 team, right? I mean, that was a good team, and it was unfortunate that's the way it ended. But
yeah.
Hey, if you're looking to become a truck driver, TCS can take care of you, all the permits, things you need, transcompservice.com. Check them out. If you're looking for a new job, I'm talking the Amazon truck in your neighborhood or that big rig you see on the screen there. Transcompservice.com can help you get out there towing that first load in no time. Boise Dentistry Co., if you need a dentist, check out Dr. Miner and his staff. They do a tremendous job. Locations across the Treasure Valley from Mountain Home to Caldwell and everywhere in between. All the newest technology, and it's full family dentistry, so they can take care of your whole family at BoiseDentistryCo.com. If you own a business or handle the insurance for a business, check out United Commercial Insurance. If you need business insurance, they can write policies in 44 states around the country. They're trying to beef up the Treasure Valley here with some of their accounts, so they can save you hundreds of dollars on your policy, your liabilities, workers' comp, all that stuff with a quick call, 229-822. Check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Our friends at Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com, locations across the Treasure Valley, across the state of Idaho, 13 in Idaho to be exact. They got the at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery, all that great stuff. Make sure you check out Ridley's Family Markets. Our friends Travis Hawks and the Blue and Orange Store, another great sponsor, the blueandorangestore.com. Free shipping, any order over $40. They got some great online Black Friday sales going on as well, so check them out, the Blue and Orange Store. .com if you're looking for an online deal, and if you want to go into the Boise Town Square Mall right there on the second floor next to Pro Image, they can take care of you for all your Boise State gear. And Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, the number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Check him out. No home is too big or too small. Matt Bauscher can take care of you and help you out the next time you're out for all of your real estate needs. But he is the number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley, and appreciate him and his support of Bronco Nation News. Check him out at BauscherRealEstate.com. Let's take a quick listen to Scott Matlock. Scott Matlock met with the media talking about his touchdown after the game. He basically confirmed, he technically has a COVID year next year, but I think everybody just assumed that this was it for him. And he essentially says, my last game next week. So Scott Matlock meeting with the media after the game.
On the blue, touchdown in the south end zone on offense, a couple plays on defense. Sounds pretty good, but I'm just glad we got the win. It was a good team win, had to fight, so really happy about that.
You guys are 8-0 in conference play for the second time in program history. You're now 5-1 at home this year. What does both of those mean?
Yeah, obviously, being in the second year under Coach Avalos and his staff, I mean, we've done a great job as a team, as a program of, buying into the process and believing in him, believing in the, and everyone in this building from, support staff, training room, equipment room. I mean, we're all a family, and we just know that we have so much potential, and we just go out there and do our jobs and play the way we train. So.
You touched on there, walk us through that touchdown catch. I believe it was the second of your career, right?
Yeah, a second one against the same team, same exact play, same spot in the field. Yeah, I mean, nothing about it. We were able to be in that package 3 plays in a row. George busted it. Was it George or Ashton? I don't know. He busted it down there to the goal line, and then 2 more plays, and we're on the right or the left hash, and so it was good. It was good. Kind of lined up for us.
I know a moment never seems to phase you, but what is it like when you know, like, your number getting called for a rare opportunity to catch a pass?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, it kind of gets in your head a bit, but I mean, you just got to go out there and run the route or make the block. Just do your job. And I saw, like, no one was really even covering me, even before the ball snapped, so I knew I was going to be, pretty open for the situation, and Taylor threw a good ball and brought it in.
Last year you were just wide open standing there. That one you get a pretty nice catch on the one today. I know it was the same play, but you feel like it was a little more proud of this one, I guess?
I'd rather have this one than last year's. Being wide, last year's was a little bit more nervous, but yeah, I mean, great ball, good protection by the O-line. I mean, everyone just did their job, and we put 7 on the board. Yeah, so that's what I'm happy about.
You guys kind of buckled down there at the end of the defense, but from the whole day, like, how do you think you guys did it at getting pressure on?
Yeah, I always think we can, do better. I always think we can grow, and we have places to improve, of course. So, I mean, we definitely could have done a better job, making him feel uncomfortable, trying to get him off his launch point. Obviously, he was able to step into a couple deep balls, and one landed. So we just got to keep working on transitioning and, creating pressure on the quarterback so he just can't, feel comfortable and make good accurate throws.
There he is, Scott Matlock, and we will put the rest of that interview up on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. If you're not subscribing to the YouTube channel, please do, and we would like to have your support there. By the way, huge announcement coming on Monday, Kent. We're doing a huge contest with Bronco Nation News. We're giving away just an amazing grand prize and some other awesome prizes as well. But if you are we're about to come up on Wednesday, I believe it is, November 30th, the 1-year anniversary since we started Bronco Nation News. So a lot of your subscriptions are set to renew in 1 year. They're all sitting here watching other people get gift cards and other deals, and they're wondering, what are you going to do for the folks that came in at the beginning of year 1? So we have a huge contest. I don't want to give away too much, but basically if you renew your subscription for year 2, or if you sign up for a new subscription during the month of December, you're going to be put into basically a pot for a customer appreciation show we're going to do, subscriber appreciation, where we're going to have a lot of prizes to give away, some cool things. And the grand prize, I think, is an unbelievable, several $1,000 prize. That the grand prize, I think I told you what it was, but we'll put you in the prize. I've actually offered you the opportunity a couple times that you've turned down for what the grand prize is. But we do have a cool opportunity coming, so stay tuned for that. We'll announce it on Monday's show. But if you are a subscriber and you're on the fence about renewing your subscription, I hope you're not. I hope you're already good to go. But and then from then on till December 31st, new subscribers will also be entered, and we're going to have some fun with our grand prize. And we've got a lot of other great prizes as well moving forward. So if folks are wanting Bronco Nation News merchandise, so yeah, we do have some quarter zips. We got some stuff. I'm not allowed to sell them for some reason due to copyright. I own the copyright for Bronco Nation News. Boise State owns the copyright for Bronco Nation, and I guess just to make things easy, they would prefer I not try to sell stuff, and I'm going to abide by their wishes. But Nate says sign me up again. So yeah, we appreciate that. Let's see. Already folks talking about there's some Hank Bachmeier talking here. I saw somebody. There was an article that alluded to him being a possible fit at BYU. I guess we'll have to see. Somebody mentioned Fresno. Tarlis coming back for the LA Bowl. No, George Tarlis is not coming back. Someone telling me even if the game's around Christmas, not to go, be with my family. No, I got to go to the game, but we'll make it work. Someone is asked.
Thankfully, there's no game on Christmas.
The Hawaii Bowl one year. Were you here for that? I forget. Were you back for that?
Well,
the Hawaii Bowl.
I was not.
That was 2013, right? Yeah. That's right. That was the famous.
I should say.
That was the famous Ken
we've
Bob Gregory.
We've spent a lot of bowl games in hotels.
We have
for games that
holidays in hotels.
Yes, yeah. but there were I said that wrong. Sorry. Yeah, we spent a lot of Christmases in the hotel getting ready for a game.
Yep.
But yeah, we haven't. Thankfully, I mean, college football, there is no
25th game. Yeah, there's some basketball games with no football.
Absolutely, but there is the 24th. The Hawaii Bowl is still on the 24th. So, and I would actually tell you, hey, Boise State's probably not going to be in the Potato Bowl.
No,
would love to see everybody come out and support the Potato Bowl. Because that's good for college football. It's good for college football in the Treasure Valley.
Yeah, it's one of the longest running bowl games with the sponsor and things like that. I mean, it's that'll be Mountain West versus MAC, right? Likely in that game.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So we'll see when that time gets closer. And that's always fun. You get the free fries out there and stuff like that. So yeah, we got
best French fries around.
I mean, everyone
come to the Potato Bowl, get your French fries.
I know everybody jokes that there's 42 bowl games there, but it's pretty cool to have a bowl game in your city. I mean, it
really is.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big deal. There are 42 bowl games, but this is one of the longest running, and it's one of the few that actually makes money because of the community support. I think Danielle Brazil has a great vision for where this thing's headed and making it even more community involved. But I think that's a big deal.
Somebody wants Boise State, Oklahoma on the Cactus Bowl. In Phoenix, just a different bowl game. That's the one on the.
That'd be phenomenal. Unfortunately, the
Boise
Broncos
State
are going to win next week, and they're going to go play it back.
Boise State versus Kansas. We got a couple people wanting to play my alma mater in the Rains Bowl. They would call it. I don't want that. I can tell you that. I don't want. I definitely don't want that because I've seen our defense against a mobile quarterback. That might not work out too well for my Jayhawks. But let's just have Boise State win next week and go to the LA Bowl.
Yeah.
I think the players get to go on the Jimmy Kimmel show and have some fun, and it would be over on the 17th. We'll see what happens there. Folks are wondering where.
To me, I'm most excited about that because it means the Broncos win and they win the conference.
Hey,
these players, like that's all we talk about all year long is how are we going to win the conference? And for them, people that had talked to me in September would know how I felt, you being included one of them. But I felt like this team was going to pull it together. And
you did kind of call this.
I thought the coaches would get the team together and lead them to a victory. And I think that's ultimately where we're headed. Sorry, getting a little emotional about it, but this is what these guys are prepared for, like 12 months of the year to get to this point.
Yep.
And the Bulldogs are going to come in here and they're going to be ready to play. It's going to be a tough game, but the Broncos are going to win. And, I'm fired up for these guys to experience that and win a championship. And that's why the reward of going to the LA Bowl is the big deal. It's not because it's the LA Bowl. It's because it's the reward of winning the conference championship.
We got to get out of here soon. We'll get to a couple more comments. What's the BNN prediction for the OC next year? What are the chances one more year with Cutter? Well, it's not going to be Dirk Cutter. He has made that very clear. He's not recruiting.
It's not going to be Dirk.
He's not recruiting. He's not doing anything. I mean, that
would be awesome if it was.
I mean, I'd make some special deal where they can let him go golf twice a week and just come in and call the plays on game day and run practice. I mean, if there was any way you'd love to keep him, he's done a great job this year. But he has made it clear that he is done. He wants to go back to hanging with his wife and going to McCall and playing golf and drinking Coors Lights. I think he said you guys might have to fight over the Coors Light Bud Light thing, but. He's done a tremendous. He's done a tremendous job, but he's not. That's not an option. He's not. He's made it clear he's not changing his mind.
I think Dirk's out, but this is an attractive deal for.
You said that a couple of weeks ago because of Taylor Green that you're going to get some high level candidates.
Yeah, this is an attractive deal for anyone, And there might be people in the program. There might be people outside that have connections. There might be people that nobody's even kind of thinking of. So, I think it'll be very attractive. They'll get the best qualified candidates and make the decision of who fits best.
Final thing before we get out of here, and we appreciate everybody that's record viewership and comments here. And again, as I said, make sure you tune in Monday's show, 9 a.m. We're going to announce a very special promo we're doing. But if you're on the fence, you need to renew your subscription for year 2. If you haven't purchased one, you're going to want to do it. Monday, we'll tell you the details. But final thoughts, perfect 8-0 Mountain West regular season. Only the second time they've done that. They're back in the championship game. Got Fresno State on the blue, 2 o'clock. Just your final thoughts as we head into championship week here.
My final thoughts, this team has overcome some adversity, which you're always going to have to fight through. But I'd love to see Broncos Stadium full, Albertsons Stadium, full, supporting these guys. They deserve it. They've worked their ass off. They've shown tremendous toughness, ability to fight through adversity, and would love to see everybody out here supporting them as they battle a good Fresno State team, but fully expect the Broncos to come out on top.
Well, we'll be here post-game to break it down. Hopefully a victorious post-game. We'll be having to get the confetti off Kent's jacket next Saturday after they win the championship. Commissioner Thompson is retiring at the end of the year. He's only, this is going to be his last time, presenting the trophy to someone, and I'm sure Boise State, Bronco Nation would like no more than for his final time presenting the trophy to be on the blue to Boise State. And I think that I know there's not a lot of players that were around, but that game against Fresno in the snow, the walk-off game, which I believe was Andy Avalos' last game as DC before he left for Oregon. They had beaten them in the regular season. You come back, and that one kind of stung to lose on a walk-off in overtime like that. So I don't know if there's I'd have to look at the roster and remember if there's even any players that were around for that. But either way, I mean, it'd be nice to give Fresno a little payback for that one. You don't want to lose 2 times to them in the championship game on the blue. So there's a lot.
That's not happening.
Okay.
We're going to be good.
You heard it here from Kent Riddle. Kent, appreciate your time as always, man, for giving up your time and doing this. We're getting some great comments. We appreciate everybody for commenting. If we didn't get to your comment, apologize. We had a couple hundred of them rolling in. We had record viewership today. So appreciate everybody so much for their support of. Yes, sir.
BJ.
Yes, sir.
Can we get the Cardinals promo? Because
you gonna out me here? You gonna out? You gonna out me?
Yep.
You gonna out me here?
What? No, I'm trying to get a Cardinals promo going,
right,
so BJ doesn't have to wear his.
There, look at that.
San Francisco Giants.
They're not even Giants. They're Gigantes.
Yeah,
it was for like a Spanish day at the ballpark, and I wasn't expecting the snow.
I'm very worried about that. Can we?
Yes, I'll see what I can
get a Cardinals promo.
I am
where they give away some glasses.
I'm one of those guys that literally break my sunglasses once a week. So I refuse. Kent's got the $400 Nike sunglasses on.
No, I don't.
I don't. I have the ICCU free ones they give you. I've got a Bud Light sunglasses over there. So I'm the king of the $3 sunglasses. So when I sit on them and they break. So
the same,
I'm not ashamed to admit. Yeah, these are.
I just want a Cardinals one.
All right,
Giants
I'll see what I can do. I thought those were better than the Bud Light ones for this
somebody
game.
Somebody in St. Louis is probably watching this.
All right.
So I'm just trying to make it happen so we can get a St. Louis Cardinals sunglasses promo day.
Yep. Well, we'll see what we can do with that. But appreciate everybody for checking us out. Thanks again, Colin Mitchell. He did a tremendous job with the highlights. Colin, come say hello to everybody, man. You're getting the shout outs over here. They want Ken too, but here's Colin. There he is. Colin does a tremendous job. Lean in a little more. We can't see him, man. Get down there. There we go. There's Colin. Good job, Colin. Appreciate it. And we appreciate all his highlights and things that he did to help get us on the air. We'll be back all week with pregame or 9 a.m. shows all week, getting you set for the championship game. So make sure you follow on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. 9 a.m. every day this week, getting you set for the championship. We'll be here pregame, trying to get Winston Venable out for the pregame show on Saturday. We'll see if we can make that happen.
I'll see if I can help.
And then, postgame as well. Kent will be here. Hopefully a joyous postgame. Broncos win the championship. Come on over to the James afterwards. It'll be like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Perfect time to have dinner, some drinks, and celebrate the championship here at the James. So appreciate you again. Have a great rest of your night. Happy Black Friday to you. Boise State wins 42-23. They'll play Fresno State in the championship game next week. Lithia, Ford, Boise, Idaho Central Credit Union, RowPaint.com, all of our great sponsors. Thanks to them. Most importantly, thanks to you. Have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.